Assalamualaikum and good morning. I'm going to start our presentation. This study examines the impact of infrastructure developed on Malaysia export performed from 1990 to 2023, highlighting the critical role of transportation network, energy system, and digital connectivity in driving economic growth and trade competitiveness. Over this period, Malaysia transitioned from agricultural-based economy to an export-oriented industrial hub, supported by strategical investment in infrastructure such as air transport, mobile connectivity, and reliable energy system. By analyzing how this investment influence export dynamic, the study provides valuable insight for policymakers and stakeholders to enhance Malaysian position in global trade.
Hello everyone, my name is Marlina binti Sahrin. I will present the chapter 2, which is literature review. We are using the gravity models introduced by Tinbergen 1962. The gravity models explain how larger GDP and shorter distance between countries increase trade. Recent advancements refine the model by including the modern enhancement include infrastructure and technology. Next, gravity model developmental phase. The gravity phase is divided into three, which is classical gravity model, extended gravity model, and modern gravity model. For the classical gravity model, it focuses on GDP and distance. This phase looks at the economic size, which is GDP of country, and the physical distance between them to predict trade flow. The idea is that bigger economies trade more, and countries closer to each other have lower transportation costs, making trade easier. For the extended gravity model, it focuses on inclusion of trade policy and cultural factor. This phase adds more details to the classical model by considering how trade agreement and cultural similarity, like shared language or history, affect the trade. This factor help explain why some countries trade more than others even if they are far apart. The last one is modern gravity model. This one is focused on incorporation of infrastructure and technology. This phase includes factors like the quality of road, port, and internet connectivity, which make trade faster and more efficient. Advanced technology reduce cost and improvement communication between the country. That's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, so my name is Marni Damokring and my metric number is BT21603 Right, so here's the gist of our methodology. We are looking at how infrastructure development impacts Malaysia's export between 1990 to 2023 using panel data from the World Bank. Why panel data? Because it's great for analyzing trends over time and across countries. We use something called panelist squares. Basically, it's help us figure out how different factors influence export without getting stuck on fixed or random effects. And now, let's talk about the key variables that we studied. First, variable is export. This is the total value of goods and services Malaysia sells abroad. It's our main focus, our dependent variable. Second is our independent variable, mobile cellular subscription. This refers to the number of mobile subscriptions per 100 people. It shows how access to communication technology could boost trade. The second independent variable is electric power consumption. This is electricity usage per person, which can indicate industrial and economic activity that might drive export. Air transport. This measures the volume of passengers carried via airlines, which often correlates with the movement of goods and trade efficiency. The last one is gross domestic product, GDP. GDP represents the total value of all goods and services produced within the country. It's often a big drive of exports. And we also got 4 hypotheses to test. For each one, we ask, does this factor have a relationship with export or not? For examples, include mobile subscription, electricity consumption, air transport, and GDP. Yeah, that's it. Just crunching the data to see what drives Malaysia export. That's the bigger picture of our analysis. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation on the descriptive analysis of key variable in this study. Let's start with the dependent variable export, which has an average value of 139 billion. Among the independent variable, GDP stands out with the highest mean value of 171 billion, followed by export and transport, which averaged 22.1 million passengers. On the lower side, electric power consumption is at 2,905 kWh per capita, while mobile cellular subscription average 54.8 per 100 people. The data shows significant variability, particularly in GDP and export, with maximum value reaching 287 billion for GDP. Interestingly, mobile subscriptions have the lowest minimum, indicating case of very low access in some regions. Next, we analyze variability through standard deviation. Both export and GDP show high fluctuation of 52.7 billion and 56 billion respectively. This value highlights substantial difference in economic performance across observation. Looking at skewness, exports show a slight left skew, meaning values are more concentrated at higher levels. In contrast, air transport, power consumption, mobile cellular subscription, and GDP is having positive skewness, with smaller value occurring more frequently. Kurtosis value reveal difference in the distribution. Air transport is lithochoretic, indicating the potential for extreme value, while export, mobile subscription, and GDP are flatter, suggesting the fewer extreme. Power consumption, however, is nearly normal. Lastly, the Jaguar-Vera test show that most variables except air transport align well with normality. Air transport borderline p-value indicate a slight deviation. In summary, this analysis highlights the strong relationship between export and the independent variable, reflecting their significance in the model. However, most variables based on p-value above 0.05 are not statistically significant, meaning we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Mohammad Fahmi. Today I will be presenting a chapter 4, 4.3 ordinary least square. First of all, we have two significant variables and two non-significant variables. First is GDP. Strong positive effect on export with a coefficient of 1.245577, statistically significant at 1% level. Next is air transport. Negative impact on export with a coefficient of negative 0.436770. Same, statistically significant at 1% level. Next is non-significant variable, which is mobile cellular subscription. Had a positive impact but insignificant on export, with a coefficient of 0.063528. Next is electric power consumption. Have a positive effect but insignificant, which is had a coefficient of 0.207861. Our model fit is shown by R square had a value of 0.98886, indicates that 98.89% of the variance in export is explained by the independent variable. The next is F statistic, which had a value of 0.000, confirm the overall model is statistically significant, and the Durbin-Watson statistic had a value of 1.530657, suggests there are mild autocorrelation, which is a positive autocorrelation. Next is about 4.4 hypothesis summary. For the mobile cellular subscription, the p-value is 0.2326, which is higher than 0.1 significant level, which is insignificant. This means that we accept the null hypothesis. For the electric power consumption, the p-value is 0.2237, which is higher than 0.1 significant level, which is same as mobile cellular subscription, which is insignificant. This means we also accept the null hypothesis. And the air transport, the p-value is 0.0004, which is less than 0.1 significant level, which is statistically significant. This means that we accept the alternative hypothesis. For the GDP, the p-value is 0.027, which is less than 0.1 significant level, which is statistically significant. This means we accept the alternative hypothesis.
Hello everyone, my name is Asri. So let's move on to the chapter 5. So let's start with the main finding first lah. So first, for mobile telecommunication, we found that the expanding mobile networks, especially in rural areas, significantly help small business with better internet access, so the entrepreneur can sell their product on platforms like Shopee, Lazada, and connecting them to the global market lah. So this transformation helped boost exports by making local business more competitive internationally. Second, electricity consumption. We all know that reliable electricity is backbone for the industrial productivity. So industry, especially those like electronic and steel that consume a lot of energy, need a stable power supply to function efficiently lah. This stability allows factory to increase the output and meet the demand of international markets, thereby boosting the export. So for the air transport play a crucial role in export logistics. So however, high cost and inefficiency can make Malaysia product less competitive on the global stage. By improving the air connectivity and reducing logistic costs, we can make export, especially time-sensitive product like fresh food and electronics, more competitive. So for the GDP growth, there is a strong connection between GDP growth and export performance. A growing economy usually means more investment in infrastructure and technology, so which is in turn increases production capabilities. So this growth helps Malaysia produce more goods for export, meeting the demand of the global market. We move on to the recommendation to further improve export performance. So first, for telecommunication, we decide to investing in 5G technology and expanding the mobile network coverage. So this can greatly enhance digital trade. Faster internet means speed and wider coverage allow more business, even in remote areas, to access global market. So improving the competitiveness and export potential, this will help the rural entrepreneurs get in the global market. So second, for the energy sector, ensuring stable power supply and promoting renewable energy, such like solar power and also the wind. So this can help industry reduce energy costs and improve sustainability. This is not only support industrial growth, but also makes Malaysia export more attractive by reducing production costs. So for the air transport, reducing the air transport costs by improving the efficiency are crucial for enhancing the export competitiveness lah. So investment in airport infrastructure and streamlining logistics can help the exporter deliver products faster and more affordable. So especially for industry reliant on quick shipping. For the leverage GDP growth, encouraging investment in manufacturing and high-tech industry can sustain the export growth. So by focusing on sector like semiconductor and advanced manufacturing, Malaysia can export higher value product lah, and boosting overall export performance. For the digital infrastructure, we decide to build strong digital capacities. It's essential for the modern trade lah. So developing high-speed internet infrastructure, especially in rural areas, this allows more small and medium enterprises. So to participate in global trade, the diversifying and increasing Malaysia export base. The last one, which is research limitation and future direction lah, for the future reviewer. So let's now look at the limitation of our study and possible direction for future research lah. So our scope limitation is our study focuses solely on Malaysia between 1990 and 2023. So this time frame and geographic focus may not fully capture all global trends. Future studies could include comparison lah with other countries or extend the timeline to get broader perspective. For the data constraint, we rely on aggregate data, which might not reflect specific sectoral or regional trends. So future research should aim for more granular, real-time data to gain deeper insight into how different sectors contribute to export performance. So, for the methodological limitation, the econometric models we use might not account for external factors such as change in international trade policies or economic crisis. So future study could use more sophisticated method lah, like machine learning or machine learning to analyze complex relationship and predict the export performance more accurately lah. So future research could also focus on sector-specific strength and inefficiencies. So like how certain industry can better leverage digital trade or how sustainability practices can impact export competitiveness. So that concludes our discussion on Chapter 5. So we have explored the key findings, provide actionable recommendation, and discussed the limitation of our study. So thank you for your attention, and I hope this insight will help in understanding and improving Malaysia export performance.